Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Where last time we started sailing towards Neketaka, I think is the name of the place. Until we got interrupted on our voyage by the gods themselves. They pulled us out of this world into the in-between and they were like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, this is what's going on. And then they had a discussion between themselves, and every time I tried to interject, they were like, stop it, human, or Kith, you are not worthy of making plans, even though we have asked you for help because we can't do anything ourselves, and you've already stopped Rodica's plans. But no, you weak mortal can't do anything.
I shall.
Let the grown-ups talk. So we let them talk, and they didn't accomplish anything because they're gods and they can't do anything on their own. And we woke up here on our ship, so we get to explore our ship a little bit here. And we got some things to loot right off the bat, including a letter from Offra. Who is Offra? Klesia, I hope this letter finds you in good health. It has been many summers now since you first arrived in Gilded Vale. Much has changed in those years, but I will never forget the kindness you showed me. The gods have blessed me with a son. This is, what's-her-face's sister? I forget her name, but, what was her name? It started with a C, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she died at the beginning of the first, game. Spoilers. But her sister was pregnant, and she was afraid that her child would be hollowborn. The gods have blessed me with a son. He is healthy and strong, and already so curious, all of Gilded Vale dotes upon him. Yeah, I guess he was probably the first child born in Gilded Vale that wasn't hollowborn, since the legacy started. So he's probably really special to them. I've told him of you. He asks constantly after the Watcher, who restored his spirit, and hopes one day to meet you. Until then, know that we keep you in our prayers. Your most grateful servant, Offra. Yeah, so that kid's probably, like 5 years old now? The timing was probably pretty tight on the child being born and me stopping Theos, but we did manage to do it, so that's good. Alright, so we got some of our crew down here. First, we gotta talk to our steward. Steward? Okay, we can't talk to her. Hey, buddy. 4 hours sleep at a go? Kill me now. Jyoti?
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see. This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple.
Jyoti wraps her sickle against her thigh as she studies the boat's layout. Satisfied by whatever she sees, she tilts her head to you with a small smile.
Tell me what's on your mind?
How you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares? What are your thoughts on Aethys? Should you be swearing so much as a priestess? How are you feeling?
They're there in my head when I sleep. And sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue like a smear of grit. Happens when I take in a particularly volatile soul.
What are you going to do? Don't worry, we'll figure something out. Let's speak of something else. What are you gonna do?
Go madder than I already am? I don't rightly know. It's not like I can turn my back on my duty to my god, even if it kills me.
Aloth is creeping around somewhere, listening. What are your thoughts on Aethys?
We talking during the Saints' War, or after he died?
What's the difference?
Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died.
Okay, Adir is creeping around too. Guys, stop eavesdropping. But he liked this because of being I hate that word. Eothesian.
And I think a part of him did. The part he'd most closely woven into living flesh. The part that represented life and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death.
Tell me about Aethys leading up to and during the Saints' War.
I really only know what my folks taught me.
She scratches the back of her head, hesitant.
Aethys embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my High Priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone. And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Abscission, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god.
What's your take on Aethys following the Saints' War?
Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now.
The darkness in the light is burning brighter. Let's speak about something else.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
Should you be swearing so much as a priestess?
Reckon not.
She grins wide and confident.
But I can't help but be a touch wayward.
Aloth massages his temple, shaking his head. He doesn't like that she's so improper. He's prideful.
I don't take it too far. My ma caught me once necking in the merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
She waggles her sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
Darn it. Adir seems pleased.
Sure thing, Watcher.
Nice. I like Jyoti a lot. She's gonna be a cool addition to the group. Hey, you guys are hanging out down here? Gods, I need a drink, says Arena. And an Eld, how you doing, buddy? Wish you kept the crew as ship shape as the Defiant. What are you talking about? We're fully supplied. Why aren't you guys ship shape? Aloth?
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others.
It gives you a grateful smile that fades almost as quickly as it appears.
I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative.
Jyoti puffs out a heated breath. If you say so. Simpler than explaining your involvement with the lead and key? Absolutely. Keeping up a lie is never simple. You should know that better than anyone. I'm surprised you managed to manage Isselmere that long. And lonelier. You seem to care for them, but they didn't really know you. Doesn't matter. It's not like you're going to see them again. I'm surprised you managed to keep Isselmere that long.
We've come to an arrangement of sorts. Hey, he lets me in on the bash and I leave him the join. For the most part, anyhow.
He sighs.
Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity.
What exactly were you doing out there? Or what were you doing out here?
After we parted, I set out to destroy the leaden key. It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it.
It's a good goal.
So for 5 years, I've been tracking down leaden key circles. Searching for the places where they operate in secret.
He knits his brows. Thoughtful, Jyoti rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw. I guess she probably doesn't even know about the leaden key.
Trying to undo them.
And how has that been going? You're doing the right thing, don't forget it. Might as well start with the ones operating from crystal waters and sandy beaches. Just make sure they can never again commit an atrocity like Widewind's legacy. You're wasting your time. Wait. That's what you've been doing? That doesn't sound like a good idea. You're doing the right thing. He gives you a wan smile.
The task has been more difficult than I anticipated.
How so?
I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make. Or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours.
He glances at you out of the corner of his eyes. What do you mean? Easy, sure. I led you right into the prison of the gods. We all have to stand on our own eventually. You had a sense of purpose when you began this. Don't lose it. Is there some way I can help? You had a sense of purpose when you began this. Don't lose it.
I haven't.
Jyoti's eyes gleam with a dark amusement.
After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations.
Maybe he had an address book. Too bad you burned his robes. But?
Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Valia. A run-down backwater of a place.
Hey, that's my village.
Aye, right home like it was.
Iloth's expression shifts as Isilmir briefly emerges.
Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition.
That'd actually be kind of cool if it was Klesia's like home village, and maybe like the remnants of those events caused her to be born as like a godlike or something. I don't actually know how godlikes come about. I think they're just random, but it'd be interesting.
At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt.
What did you do? They must have had some purpose in mind. You helped them, right? There are too many idiots in the world anyway. There are worse things than a little bleeding. What did you do?
The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
Wicked old bun-bag, 'tis what the lad means.
He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too. So I arranged for him to have an accident.
He gives you a sly look. Jyoti flicks her sickle back and forth, agitated. And then, clever. That seems like one of Theos's dirty tricks. I'd expect you to act with honor. And then?
The old man died, and the villagers were terrified. They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith. So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little.
His lips twist as if the words themselves have a bitter taste.
Instead of a handful dying each year, a few perished every week.
He's worked the edge of his sash into a tight knot. He clenches it between pale, rigid fingers. And now you feel responsible. Is that it? Maybe you should have left them alone. You couldn't have known what would happen. This isn't your fault. If you barely understood this ritual, how did you expect to stop it? You tried to do the right thing, and that's what matters. And now you feel responsible. Is that it?
I had to do something, didn't I?
He turns to you with wide, anguished eyes. He pauses again, untwisting the sash at his lap.
I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better.
I don't have an answer for that. Learning from mistakes like this is a good start. Stop dwelling on this. You'll paralyze yourself. The villagers had found a way to live with the ritual. In time, perhaps they would have changed it on their own. The villagers chose this. They're to blame here, not you. Between 3 and 5. I'm trying to think back on all the decisions in Pillars of Eternity 1, and if we had ever made a decision that ended up leading to results that we weren't really looking for. I'm sure there were. I can't remember them at the moment, but I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were. Or maybe not. Maybe I was perfect and I did everything right. Stop dwelling on this. You'll paralyze yourself.
I suppose so. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about.
Wait. You still haven't told me what the Animancers have to do with any of this.
Ah, that.
He massages his temple.
I'm looking for an old Leaden Key sect. I've found several references, but
He breaks off, shaking his head.
I want to be sure. Please, let me go over my notes again. Then I promise I'll tell you everything.
We'll talk more later then. Alright.
I
And
must say, our adventures together have been a welcome change of pace.
Adolf approaches you, looking more at ease than you've seen him in a while. Yeah, well, you know. It's been a whole 10 seconds. So, what made you think of that? Thanks, Aloth. I appreciate your company too. Careful, or you're going to make me blush. We work well together. That's nice, but I don't want to discuss it. What made you think of that? He laces his fingers together as he considers your question.
When we first met in the Deerwood, you were struggling for your sanity.
Uh-huh.
Now you're fighting for your soul.
He pauses.
I can't imagine the weight of that burden. And yet you've borne it, and more remarkably.
Thanks. If you say so. It's not as though I have much choice. Things have gotten dire, but I won't let that get me down. You seem to be holding up pretty well yourself. Then I fooled you. You seem to be holding up pretty well yourself.
I'm glad it appears so, though I'm hardly in the same position as you.
He gives you an almost pitying smile.
The gods have sent you after Aethys, and every power of note in Deadfire has their own plans for you.
He tilts his head.
That puts you in a position of incredible influence.
As usual, I am important.
I'm glad you don't take your responsibilities lightly.
I'm just making it up as I go along. I have a duty to do right by the world. Circumstances put me in a position to help others. I merely think things through. Ultimately, what we do matters little. Is that what you think? I just like to keep you guessing. I just merely think things through.
If only more people did as much.
He sighs.
I hope you'll remember this in the days to come.
Gives you a thoughtful nod. Well, thanks, Aloth. I appreciate the words. Edir?
Hey, this brings back some memories, huh?
Not really. I mean, I don't think we ever sailed on a ship before together, Edir. But yes, traveling together, of course. What are your thoughts on Aethys at the moment?
I want the destruction to stop. I want him to finish what he's doing and then go in peace. Only I don't see it playing out that way. If you like.
What did you do after we ended the legacy?
I like that feeling, knowing we'd stop Theos. We were part of something big.
It was a good feeling.
That was something I never felt before. Not even at war. Guess I went looking for it again. Not that I wanted to tangle with gods, but something smaller. Something I thought I could manage. Well, there's a group of Aethasians in Deerwood, the night market. Go around helping other Aethasians in secret. Sorta like the Leaden Key, guess you could say. Except not a bunch of craven lunatics.
At least not yet.
So this one night I'm at a tavern and this fella has a disagreement with me. Game of Orland's head he'd lost some money at. And I'm bashing his head into the target when he notices I got this pendant with a symbol of Aethys on it. So we get to talking and it turns out he's an alright fella. Runs with the night market. And after he was feeling better a month or two later,
Jesus.
he introduced me to some folks in the group. And they let me in.
How did that work out?
Well, it depended. The jobs we did, I got to help a lot of folks.
That's good.
A lot of times it was helping folks get out of bad situations. Getting them set up with better ones. I like that.
It's like a sort of like an underground railroad sort of deal going on.
But the group had problems. A lot of different ideas how to run things. Sometimes it cost the people we were trying to help. And I don't know if that was something we could have avoided or if it was the cost of trying to fix things.
Let me ask you something else.
If you like.
How do you like the Deadfire? Or just Deadfire?
The air is different. Especially compared to Gilded Vale, where there's more livestock than shovels.
Yeah, it's pretty humid down here.
Sounds different, too. You wake up to all those bird calls, it really does sound like they're making music. If the birds woke you in Gilded Vale, it was usually a couple crows making the most horrible mating noises you ever heard. Strange thing is, I still get this feeling in me like I wish I was home.
You're homesick, buddy. Let's get moving. Okay. Let's go check upstairs. Are you sure you don't want to talk to me, Miss
Make
Stewart?
it so.
No? Okay. Fine. I feel like it'd be really cool to travel like through the Deadfire archipelago. It's like we're on a cruise ship, you know? Except, without all the really nice amenities. Rum Dum you.
Agrasima Casita for taking me on.
You're very welcome, buddy. Hey, Beadol. How's it going? Got any idea where we're at, Captain? No, you're supposed to know that. Seraphin.
If you be having a tick, Cap, I'll be thinking that, if I be dragging you into these depths, you deserve the full sounding.
Yeah, sure. Can we like go down below where it's not raining? I guess. Do I care about rain? Probably like evaporates before it gets to me or something. Or maybe you just have like, I just have like that constant like water hitting fire hissing sound. That would be kind of annoying, huh? This is about Romaro, I take it. I'm happy to listen.
When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea, it were Romaro that showed me the ropes and rigging. More than that, he kept his weather eye open for me.
He plucks at the fur at his elbow.
The sea be a right poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer, that and more. Malnage, our ship hunter, she were all wet and bothered for doing me harm. And Romaro, he protected me. Mentored me too. Learned me letters and navigation. Handed down the Principe traditions. In time, we became close as kin or closer. And the Sorcerer, my family.
How did Romaro end up in trouble with the Principe? You told me a lot about the two of you, but not much about him. Were you romantically involved? Why did this Malnage want to hurt you? I promise we'll find him. Thank you. I think this is actually the most natural thing to say after what the last thing he said. So, were you romantically involved?
Why, Cap? You be feeling a bit of the old envy?
He grins, bumping his eyebrows twice in quick succession. No.
Nay, we never shared a bunk. Not that I'd have kicked him out of the hammock, but like I said, we be family. He never took advantage.
I don't know. I know there's romance in this game, but I don't know who we're gonna have classier romance. I mean, Aloth or Edir, assuming both of them are one of the romanceable ones, have the history with us. So maybe one of them, but like maybe one of the new people. Or maybe who I assume to be Pelagina. Maybe her. We have history with her too. How did Romaro end up in trouble with the Principe?
Right, fantastic fucking question, Cap.
He scowls and plants a closed fist in an open palm.
Word out we're mutiny. But I'll be putting about as much stock in that as a dockside doxy for manners. Well, no, I don't normally be singing no praises of veracity, Cap. But in the matter of Romaro, I'll be hunting the truth.
You told me a lot about the two of you, but not much about him.
Fair. He be of old Valian stock.
Yeah, it's me.
A good man and righteous. Not honest, of course, but honourable. Were our shipboard sawbones, more than half handy at it.
He smiles and rubs his upper right arm.
More than one swabby be on the old salt of deferral from the wheel.
Why did this Malnage want to hurt you?
Well, only knows, Cap. She treated me like my mere presence gave her thanks.
I don't know if we've discussed a whale in this playthrough yet, so let's go ahead and do that. The god of secrets, revelations, illusions, cryptography, obfuscation, perception, dreams, and visions. Whale is, in and of itself, a mystery and with no consistent form or gender. Its followers revel in the acts of creating and unraveling mysteries. Whale's a pretty cool god. I like him. I promise we'll find him.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be holding you to it.
He bows.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
It labels it as flirting. That'll be useful. I don't think we're gonna flirt with Seraphin, at least not yet. I mean, maybe once we get to know him better. I don't think Klessia is really in a flirting mood. In fact, a lot because maybe the first game not having like that kind of feel to it. I almost feel like Klessia herself isn't a very romantic person. Like, not really. She's more of like duty first, and I don't know. Maybe the 5 years. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. I guess it's really gonna be dependent on, you know, if any of these companions really kind of open her up on more than just a mission sort of basis, you know? Like, I feel like anytime anybody talks to Klessia, it's about like what they can do for them, or like sharing their own problems and not really talking with her. for you get by. I mean, I guess you could say that about most role-playing games. But, yeah. It's a hard thing to do, I imagine, for developers to, like, make it where NPCs can ask about a character's life and stuff like that in a way that progresses well without feeling railroady or anything. I don't know. Anyway, tell me about Romero. I think this is just going to be what we were just in.
Aye, sure.
He nods.
When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea be alright poxy ore on occasion.
Yeah.
Aye. Do right by it, and I won't be regretting it.
Tell me about yourself.
Family ain't about the blood that runs through you. It'd be about who you'd be willing to spill blood for.
I like that. I'd like to ask you about the Principe.
Ask away, Cap.
Who are they exactly?
Formerly the Principe San Petrena. The princes, without,
His brow knits as he snaps.
without a home, They came from Gran Velia ages ago. Now they be the scourge of the Deadfire.
He squares his shoulders, puffing out his chest.
More than that, ain't for the likes of me to say. Ask away, Cap.
How do the Principe operate?
Raiding seafaring vessels mostly. Seasoned ships cargo. Ships themselves if they be worth anything. If there be passengers of high birth, we be taking them for ransom too. Ain't squeamish about slaying, but be avoiding it when we can. Get yourself known for killing folk. They get more likely to fight you when you come for the gold.
That's a good point.
Ask away, Cap.
You seem to enjoy being Principe.
Aye, that I do, Cap.
His scarred lip splits into a broad smile, revealing crooked teeth. If I were looking to enlist, how would I do so? Oh, what about it?
What not? Smell of the sea, creak of the rigging, blast of the cannons, rush aboard and a right piece of prey. A mug of spiced rum in my hands and a bawdy song on my lips. A lad or lass in every port and another in my hammock.
He shrugs with a grin.
Be a pirate's life for me. Ask away, Cap.
If I were looking to enlist, how would I do so?
Enlist, Cap. We ain't a flog-stroking Rowettai navy.
He chuckles, low and warm.
Twixt the seaworthy vessel and passable crew. You've managed yourself the hardest part already. Now you just need to be setting yourself to piracy. After you be talking it over with the Consuelo.
Consuelo. Valiant for council. Okay. Sounds easy enough.
We ain't exactly a bunch known for housing hard-ons for hard rules. Ask away, Cap.
Never mind.
Aye, Cap.
Farewell. Okay. How do we get back to sailing away? Is it this? It's that. Okay. Good. We got to know our companions a little bit more. You've received an important missive from Captain Ferrante. Read it. Dear Watcher, I find myself in need of someone with your particular brand of talents. As our last business transaction went so grandly, I appreciate the opportunity to hire you again. If you're interested, please convene with me in Dunwich. To our fortunate proceedings, Captain Ferrante. Destroy letter? I don't want to destroy it. It's not like anybody's ever going to catch me anyway. Okay, so now we have this place too. How do I zoom out? Could have sworn there was a way to zoom out. Is it? Oh, there we go. Where's Dunwich at? Way over there. We're going to keep going to Neketaka. Because that's where we were headed. So off we go. Another island here. I'm not going to stop at every little island. I'm hoping that, you know, the game will bring us back through this region, or maybe even send us. That seems like a rather big island there. Maybe more the size of Port Marge's island. Whatever. Port Mage. Ahoy! Deadfire merchant. How do I get rid of that injury? Why hasn't it told us that? Do I need to get to like a lethargic, misshapen bird drops a damp missive onto the deck. To Clesia, captain of the Defiant. I know what you're thinking. I have too many lovable cats, dogs, pigs, birds, and pigs. Like you, I once thought I could take in stray pets, care for their needs, and shower each with equal affection. But we limited beings have only so much love to spread around. Unpleasant, unfair, unfortunate. That's why I took it upon myself to optimize affection and curtail my creature care. I bring you the Critter Cleaver. The Cleaver is a handy, ethics-free apparatus yanked from a genuine Ingwithan dig site and restored to glorious functionality. Simply slide your favorite feline down one end and let the cleaver do its charm. The best part is yet to come. See, the cleaver remembers. Stick a white bird in there? It remembers. Purple pig? It remembers. It even remembers your pet's strength, weaknesses, and favorite places to poop. Now, your furry friend isn't just going to slide out of the cleaver... Well, hold on. Isn't just going to slide out of the cleaver's business in same as it went inside. No, they come out different. Better, sometimes. That's where it gets fun. Combinations. Want a bird to think like a pig? Want a cat to think like a different, better cat? The cleaver provides. You'd be doing me a favor of epic proportions if you gave the Critter Cleaver a whirl. Once folks see you using it, everyone will want to turn. I've moved it to the far wall of the dark cupboard, which is at Periki's Overlook in Neketaka. You can find the cleaver just due west of the Wooden Fella. A friend and fellow animal lover. P.S. I fixed the insert receptacle so that it no longer accepts Orleans and gave it a good scrubbing. You're welcome. Okay. And there we are, Neketaka. Ooh, look at that. That looks awesome. Or it looks like it's going to be awesome. Heart of the Deadfire achievement. Neketaka, Deep Spring, Phone Prima, 2828. Look at this place. Okay. Let's see what this big old city has to offer for us. Hello. As you walk down the dock, your approach is noted by a cadre of heavily armored Amawa. Their leader briskly leads them to intercept you. Though the harbor master says nothing as she surveys you, you note a telltale sneer and a twitch of revulsion that are all too familiar. Racism.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
Excuse you, that is a little ship to you? The Amawa cranes her thick neck to look along the hull of your ship. Her expression conveys equal portions incredulity, pity.
Why do we gotta be farmers just because we're from Deerwood?
Yeah, to be fair, two of us are farmers.
Are you a farmer?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers, too.
I'm not so sure you should be considering yourself a farmer anymore, Edir. I mean, I guess... I don't know. Like, if I worked on a farm... At least we're from farmers. But when was the last time you farmed, Edir? I have never seen you farm. As our attention returns to you, the Amawa's mood becomes more formal.
I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka.
I'm following a giant made of Adra, and I need to see someone in the palace about it. Bareth has tasked me with finding Aothis. He's walking across the Deadfire looking for luminous Adra. Do I really need a reason? I'm carrying the finest hay in all the Deerwood. Bales of it. So many bales. And I must tell you to fuck off. Get out of my way. Be honest, Bareth has tasked me to find Aothis. The harbor master and the women and men with her look to each other in shock and amusement.
Is that so? Well, Andra told me to protect the harbor, and Wodika herself signed the order. They would have had Gallowayne do it, but he was sick this morning.
Yeah, well, you know. The assembled guards roar with laughter and clap the harbor master on the back for her joke. What a bunch of... Deep within you, you feel an uncomfortable roiling. You can't be certain if the sensation is physical or spiritual, but it immediately induces nausea and fills your ears with the sound of blood rushing through your head. Cutting through the din, you hear a familiar woman's voice speak. Each word comes slowly, falling with what sounds like the calming of a small bell.
Show them what you are.
It really is important that I go to the palace. I need to learn where I can find Luminous Audra. I'm a watcher and the Herald of Bareth. The whole of Deadfire is in danger. Please let me pass. I'm a watcher and the Herald of Bareth. Step aside or suffer the consequences. Concentrate on folding the edge of the in-between. What does that mean? Let's do that. I want to see what that is. You close your eyes and turn your mind inward, blocking out the sound of the harbor and the menacing pack of guards. Soon, all you can hear is the rushing of blood in your head and a muffled chime ringing somewhere far away.
Yes, that's it.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
The roar in your head begins to abate. The ringing of the chime becomes clearer, rhythmic. 2 successive peals followed by a brief respite. You realize the chime is ringing in tandem with your heartbeat. You open your eyes. The harbor master is gesturing wildly, presumably to get your attention, and yelling in your face. But you hear no words, only the ringing of the chime as your heart rate slows and slows and slows and slows.
Now.
In dialogue.
What is this?
Run for it!
Okay, that's pretty badass.
You got style, Cap. Worm-riddled, ship-sinking, flat fucking freaky style.
Thanks, Seraphim. I love that at the end of that, Alof's animation ended. He was just reading a book during that, like he wasn't even paying attention. I thought that was great. We leveled up though, and that was really cool. We are going to love doing that. You know, despite, being slightly annoyed, or maybe even more than slightly annoyed with the gods, we are a priestess of Magrin, and we follow the gods despite everything we've learned. We know that they were not born as gods, or they were not they were manufactured gods, but they are still gods. They still have power. We believe in them still. And even though we are learning more and more that they are very, very mortal feeling, we still follow them, support them. Believe that they want to protect the world. Maybe for selfish reasons, but still want to do it. Alright, so another level up. Awesome. So Klesia, you are now level 6. New active skill, new passive skill, and 1 new ability. Explosives and religion. And, so we've got these 2. I think we're probably going to go for maybe one of these. Increases the character's will defense. Gain concentration at the beginning of each round. Increases the character's reflex defense. Fortitude defense. Combat focus. Gain concentration. What does concentration do exactly? Concentration can be gained through spells, abilities, talents, or items to protect a character from being interrupted. Each point of concentration that a character possesses will prevent a single interrupt effect from being applied to them. Afterwards, the concentration effect is removed. That could be useful, but we don't get hit very often. So I feel like maybe not. Dire Blessing would be good. Right? What's this one do again? Watchful Presence. AoE 35 health restored. Blessed allies with the aid of sympathetic souls, releasing a healing effect when they are near death. Let's get that. Let's get that. I think that'll be good. Alright, Seraphim. Our Cypher buddy. He's cool. I like it. Man, it's gonna suck when we get another companion. Not because I don't want one, but we're gonna have to decide who to take with us. I hate that feeling. Mechanics. And because he's mechanics, it's gonna be really hard to get rid of him. However, the other three, Aloth and Edir, don't think we're getting rid of them. Like, I just don't think we'll be getting rid of them. I think they're just too important to Klessia to have her not take them with her, right? She trusts them far too much to not have them with her if they want to come with us. And if it is Pelagina, that's the third, that's one of the other companions. It's just like, she's in the same boat. Maybe not as in the same boat as Aloth and Edir, since they were there at the very beginning of one, but Pelagina was there for most of it too. But if we take those three, that leaves only one slot open for one of the presumably 3 new companions. It's gonna be really tough to decide who to take with us. Because Jyoti, I really love her so far. I'm already getting depressed at having to make that decision. Alright, Streetwise. And for your Cypher ability, so you got this one last time, Pain Link. I think it was it this one that was really cool? Forces an enemy's soul to leak energy, igniting the air around them and burning them over time. That is pretty cool. We got Puppet Master. I think we might get one of these. Psychic Backlash. Invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning an enemy whenever they target the Cypher's will defense. Hammering Thoughts. The Cypher is able to use the echoes of time to drive home strikes from their weapon, increasing their penetration. That could be good. Gain concentration at the start, fortitude, and reflex. This one has a second tier, so we're gonna get this one. So attackers are stunned for 1 round if that succeeds, and they attack his will. That could be good. I like that. Alright, Aloth, Arcana, and Insight. Another spell for you, huh? Okay, what do we want to get? Or we could go for one of these. What's this one for you? Combat Focus. Increase character will defense. Okay. What do we want to get? We could get something from a previous tier as well. That might be helpful. Just taking a look at them. Trying to remember like all of them by their icons as well, so I don't have to read them all. Minor Blight Summon Weapon. Creates a ball of energy in the caster's hand that can be thrown at an enemy, causing burn, freeze, corrode, or shock damage to anyone caught in the area of effect. Blights are continually cycled and replenished until the spell ends. So that gets you... That actually seems pretty good. Let's get that. And... Oh, you're not... We have 2 more people. Jyoti. Alchemy. And... Metaphysics. And... Let's see, you got Monk. And Priest stuff. Let's go with a Monk skill. Probably... Clarity of Agony, I think, is what we're gonna get, because that has another thing. Through pain, the Monk is... able to cleanse their body, reducing the duration of incoming existing hostile effects. Yeah, we're gonna get that, and that'll open up this when we get there. Good. And then a deer. I think Edir is probably the one we will never get rid of. I mean, he's like our best friend, right? I mean, I know Aloth could be I mean, both of them. I don't know. Let's stop thinking about it until we get to that decision. What do we want to get for you? Dirty Fighting. 10% of hits converted to crits. That could be good. I do like that. Confident aim. 30% of grazes converted to hits with proficient weapon. Let's get that. We graze a lot, so converting 30% of those to hits, I think, will be really good. All right, leveled up.
Yes.
Look at all this stuff that's all free.
Certainly.
This is not our formation.
Oh.
There we go. That works. No, we want
You sure?
No, I'm not sure.
You sure?
I think this is.
Yes, I shall.
Yeah, that'll do. All right, let's loot. Don't need any cannonballs. Need to sell
As
some
you like.
cannonballs. Look, this is a great place, a great town. They just have all this free stuff for people getting off the docks. Amazing hospitality. So yeah, now that we've thoroughly scared the harbor guards away, let's see what's going on here. Anything down here? No. Alright, let's explore this town. Ribeiro. Hello?
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something more delicate? If you have a frame, I can fit cloth to it without fuss.
To tear their eyeballs your shoulder with, doing some mental calculations. See what you have.
Take your time. I'll give you space to browse.
Thank you. You got a changing room? Ooh. Bardwin's cover. Grants steeled in darkness. During nighttime, this aura grants all nearby allies, excluding wearer, a bonus to their stealth and resolve. Huh. Within 5 meters of yourself? That's pretty cool. Bardwin, an Orlan warrior from the Fisher Crane tribe, served Irglanfath with distinction during the War of the Black Trees. He was infamous among the encroaching soldiers of the Deerwood for his rapid, daring raids into the hearts of their outposts, primarily under the cover of darkness. Bardwin's cloak, much like its former owner, is a practical thing. Dirt, moss, and blood have made the simple homespun garment into a mottled mosaic that seems to disappear amongst the rocks and trees. The frayed hem is silent, even when drawn over stone and dry leaves. With the Glanfathan defeat and the end of the war, Badrin and his most loyal followers made their way to the Deadfire, where they plundered merchant ships. For many years, this cloak is all that remains of the fabled leader. Cool. Anything else of note? Right. Cloak of Deflection. We're going to buy that. That'll be good. I don't know if we want to buy the cloak. Oh, fuck it. Let's buy it. We've got money, right? Buy a couple cloaks. Because we are cloak deficient. Got these things too. And here. Wait. Did they all go to you? Oh, personal inventory. Let's put this in the stash. How do I put it in the stash? Right here? There we go. Okay, so. +4 deflection. We're going to give this to you. There you go. Oh, the cloaks look so much better in this game. Oh, it's amazing. Okay. And this does not affect the wearer, right? And this is only in darkness. Excluding the wearer. So, I think we're going to give this, because we want it to be... probably somebody who doesn't necessarily need the stealth bonus. I'm thinking Seraphim. Here you go, buddy. Alright. Rolls of fabric and garments of various materials are arranged here, from fine silks to spools of thick yarn.
Certainly.
Okay. So we need to go to the palace, but I think we're just going to explore. Since the harbor masters, or whatever they were, Didn't give us directions. We don't know where we're going. Ivor the Bright.
God shepherds us all, traveler. Seek out his temple along the sacred stair, that thy path shall be made clear.
The sacred stair. Look at this. I love the architecture here. We've got like, this is very Greek-like, but we've got that Asian gazebo over here, or whatever you would call it. But this feels like really Greek, and then you got like, you know, Latin America, sort of colonial-looking buildings. Nice little blend of architecture. Sansa's Map Emporium. We could use a map. Maybe they have a map of the city we could buy. And that way I don't have to pretend like we don't know where we're going. Because pretty sure if I opened up the map, it would just tell us everything.
That's unusual.
That is unusual. Puppy! Big puppy. Okay, so that one's stealing. We don't want to steal from you. Although this isn't showing up red. Trap detected. Oh, no, it's stealing. Okay. Hello.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sansa bounces back on his heels, a wide grin plastered on his worn face.
How might I assist you?
What do you do here?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so.
And being a cartographer must have been... I was going to say fun, but then I thought, you know, it's probably pretty dangerous work too. Potentially. I don't know. I think it would have been cool to be a cartographer.
If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous. It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself, but I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
Do you sleep here?
Sometimes.
He touches a hand to his forehead and blushes scarlet from his neck to the tips of his ears.
Married to the work, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning. Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that. He always hogs the blankets.
He rubs the back of his neck. Nice dog.
You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sansa's face splits into a broad grin bright enough to light the room. The faint trace of a smile forms on Adir's lips.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
You said you're writing a book?
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me. You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense.
Sansa folds his arms, sighing.
I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire. Someday.
If it pays, I'll take the job.
Do you mean it? This is... Wow! I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, no problem.
It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
Despite his words, the gleeful expression on Sansa's face has not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you.
Yeah, you really lucked out with me walking in here, because I plan on exploring every single nook and cranny of this world, so, you know, you got lucky.
The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, Aimika. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island.
Well, I've never actually thought about it, but I know it's Klesia. Yeah, and this is also really great for me, too, because now I have a reason to go to all these places that I might not have had a reason to go to.
I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Magi. There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet. Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful.
It'll be wonderful, won't it? Do you have maps for sale? Scrawled notes track commissions and work orders in progress. Tattered and worn, this map depicts a small region of the Living Lands. Among the usual cartographical tomes and manuals, there are a few weathered volumes of travel memoirs and fanciful adventures. Even these scrolls have been painstakingly dusted. These maps of the Deadfire archipelago are incomplete, pocked with gaps denoting unexplored regions. Alright, do you have a...
Welcome back, welcome back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope. How might I assist you?
What do you got?
Certainly, certainly. It would be my pleasure. Of course, it's mostly books and knickknacks. Maps I do on commission, you see.
Of course. Ooh, snakeskin grimoire. I think we're gonna buy that. And we'll come back for everything else when we're rich. Okay, we need to figure out how to do these grimoires. Let's see. So we no longer have to equip grimoires, it seems. Personal inventory. Okay. So if I open this up, can I learn these spells, or is it just kind of like I have access to them now? Let me see. I don't know how to find that out. Do I go in here? No. Okay. So, okay, you do have a grimoire equipped. Can I change what's in here? Can you no longer change what's in the grimoire? But if I equip that,
For me?
you now have access to, yeah, the other spells. Interesting. Okay. So which one do we... Okay, so we can only use these 3, right? Mm-hmm. I wish it like had like a symbol telling you that you already have the spell. This one actually might be pretty good for us right now. I think we have Crackling Bolt, don't we? So I don't think we have any of those. What's Fleet Feet. Now, I guess question is, so this, we won't have Bounding Missile, but I think that'll be okay. Maybe we won't have Crackling Bolt either. Actually, I like that too. Combusting Wounds is pretty good. I think we're going to keep using this one. I know we bought this, but, you know. As we get more experience with combat and spellcasting, we might switch out those things. I'm kind of sad that we can't, like, customize the grimoires, though. I thought that was a cool feature of one. How you could learn new spells from grimoires and, you know, mess with it.
Captain, you eyeing that fresh shat bare paws lump of lumber yonder? That be the Misery's Delight. Malnaj's pus-stuffed canker of a boat.
He points wildly at a half-galley docked nearby. Only 2 hands hold the deck. The remaining crew may be below deck, or they may be ashore. Who? I can't keep track of all your pirate friends. Let's hurry then. This can't be a coincidence. Keep your eyes open and be on your guard.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay, well, I guess... I don't know where you're talking about, though. I mean, that's our ship. Road south. Road east. Peddler's Canal. Trading Company. The Wild Mare. Sounds like a tavern, perhaps. Luminous Audra Mill. Well, road north. Bardato's Estate. Dockside Arms and Armor. Back Alley. Valley Estates. Fine Fashion. Famous Fish. Hunting and Sundries. And the shipwright. I suppose the ship must be docked at the dock. I'll talk to you in a... I guess we're here. Hey, Nira. Bardato.
Where is my postinago of a brother? You there? Have you seen Lauro Bardato?
I have not. Oh, thank